I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to fully feel your emotions, but be completely detached simultaneously. Because this is a big contradiction that people have within their own minds in the spiritual community and just in life, is like, do I fully feel my emotions or do I not feel my emotions? What is running away from your emotions and what is fully feeling your emotions? The more that you connect to your source and who you truly are, this comparison between feeling something and running away from something will kind of fall apart. I'm going to share with you what I mean by that in this video. How you can fully experience life at its fullest, but at the same time be completely detached. Let's talk about that in this video. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do actually post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, I recently just launched email coaching, as well as I have a couple spots left for my one-on-one coaching program. All the details for both of those things will be down below. I don't accept every single application for the one-on-one coaching program, so if you do want to see if you qualify, be sure to include as much information as possible. And the first thing that I want to share with you might be a little bit debatable, but it has been true in my experience. After deep contemplation, after deep testing, multiple different ways of living, multiple different ways of being in the world, I've come to realize that this might be debatable, but I'm going to share it anyways, is that essentially speaking, at the very essence, spiritual bypassing really does not actually exist. It doesn't actually exist. You can't actually run away from anything. It's impossible. And even if you try, that will simply be a pause on your life. That will be a choice, but it won't seem like a choice in that moment. It'll just be a pause. It'll be like an energetic stuck kind of pause. And you could say that from a grander perspective, in comparison to your natural state, that is you spiritually bypassing. But even that in of itself is not spiritual bypassing, because you could also just say that it's a limbo phase in your life where you're not moving forward to be the person that you want to be and your energy just stuck. But even that, you're still going to feel that fully. So you can't really run away from that. So what I'm trying to share here is that essentially speaking, spiritual bypassing simply does not exist. It doesn't exist. Every emotion that can possibly be felt in existence in your life will be felt. Every relationship that you can possibly have with another person or another thing will be had. So you cannot really spiritually bypass anything. Again, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this in a moment here, so this makes complete sense, because I want you to understand this concept truly with zero confusion, and I want you to fully understand that this is actually true, not just to take my word for it. So what I want to add to this concept is that if you really want to fully feel your emotions and be completely detached simultaneously, the key is to focus on staying in balance and homeostasis / flow. What does this mean? This means that every single being, every organism in existence, and literally what I've noticed, including myself, right, wants to find balance and harmony. Everything wants to balance itself out. It wants to become like it's just balanced, the balance of the masculine and the feminine. Now, what happens is that when we lose touch with our balance, you could say that you're out of alignment with your natural state, and that's when you start feeling all sorts of imbalanced emotions, like maybe too much chaos, and your emotions are ungrounded, and you don't feel connected, and you don't feel whole, and you don't feel complete. You don't feel like you're in peace and joy and harmony and in love, which is our natural state, I believe, unless we convince ourselves with some stories that we can't be in those states of natural joy and peace. It is our natural state, unless we choose to believe otherwise, right? So in my experience, if you want to fully feel your emotions, but be completely detached simultaneously, the key is to focus on and prioritizing being in balance. Let me go a little bit deeper into this before I conclude the video. See, people are afraid to be prioritizing their peace, prioritizing being in balance. Okay, I want to say, for example, you want to make it your priority to be comfortable. Now, I don't want to say comfortable, because comfortable is not necessarily the right word, but it is focusing on staying in balance, which is, I think, is a more appropriate word here, because comfort and discomfort can be confusing. Do you decide to be comfortable, or do you get out of your comfort zone? Do you stay comfortable in life, or do you get out of your comfort? Which one do you do, right? You can go mad trying to contemplate and figure out if you should stay in your comfort zone or get out of your comfort zone. I've personally gone almost completely insane trying to figure out if I should be in comfort or discomfort. Should I face my fear or should I not face my fear? Should I make this choice? It's like, if you can relate to that, leave a comment down below. I'm just speaking to my past self in these videos, right? So what I found is that a more appropriate perspective and a more accurate and grounding perspective that makes me feel more whole and complete is to focus on staying in balance, prioritizing always being in balance and in flow and in homeostasis. Homeostasis, what does that mean? Homeostasis is being generally in balance. Generally in balance. Now, think about it like this. If you always 100% of your day or a large majority of your day prioritize feeling in balance and being in peace and being in joy, being in peace, not necessarily being so comfortable that you get lazy and sluggish, but not being so uncomfortable that you also feel like kind of dense and out of alignment. But you sort of find this balancing point. See, life I found is a beautiful balancing act. It's a balance. It's the most beautiful and precise balancing act. Everything is balance. Balance is key to everything. And what I found is that if you prioritize staying in balance, what happens is that it's impossible for you to run away from any emotion. You would think that if you prioritize being comfortable, and I don't mean comfortable, that's not the right word, but a more accurate way is if you prioritize staying in balance, you would think that like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be running away from something. If you would think that, okay, if I prioritize as much as possible staying in peace and feeling peaceful and feeling balanced, you would think like, oh, maybe I'm running away from something. No, quite the opposite, because if you prioritize peace, you will effectively not only feel peaceful a majority of the time, you will feel every possible emotion that can be felt, including the positive and the negative, including the pain that life can bring sometimes, and even maybe suffering sometimes, unfortunately. But you won't be attached to the suffering. You won't get lost in the suffering, but you'll feel it. And you'll process it actually a lot quicker. See, most people that don't understand this, what they will do is they will attach to the suffering, they'll recreate the suffering, they'll recreate the negativity, they'll recreate the fear. But when you're focusing on staying in balance, you might feel a little bit of pain, a little bit of suffering, and then process it, and then it's gone. But see, when the ego attaches to the suffering and attaches to the pain, it recreates it and then it sends it down, and then you get sent down some timeline where you believe that that pain is who you are. Oh, it's me, I am the pain. This is me, I need to be lost in the pain. Now, once you focus on staying in balance and homeostasis and being continually in flow, in, you could say, movement, all the movement can happen within being, your body can be physically still. You can be meditating and be physically still. But even this in of itself is energy moving. That's a flow. I could be in meditation completely still. My body is still, but I'm in flow while I'm doing that activity. In meditation, yes, it is an action. You would think, oh, isn't meditation something that you're just being? Yes, I'm being, but it is an action as well, right? It's a balance. You want to get to a balancing point between doing and being, between taking action and just being, and finding that balancing point. If you do this, if you really understand the message that's being communicated here, you will effectively be in balance a very large majority of your day, and you will also feel every single emotion. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the peace and the joy and the harmony, and you know that you're not going to be running away from your shadow. You're not going to be running away from any negativity, because you will be fully prioritizing your state of consciousness and to feel everything. So to conclude this video, what I'm inviting you here to do is to value your peace. To value your peace, to value your state of consciousness, to value how connected you feel to who you really are, and to prioritize your peace. Right? Your peace is your most valuable thing. If you don't have peace, you're not going to have a lot in life. And you're going to lose a lot of things in life. Peace should be your number one priority, in my personal opinion and in my experience. When I have disconnected my prioritization to peace, that's when things start to fall apart in my life, unfortunately, a little bit more. But I could say that maybe it wasn't so unfortunate, because I learned lessons, and through contrast, I realized what my priorities and values are, which is to prioritize my peace. And in that process of going into chaos, losing my peace, giving away my power without realizing it, even though, yes, of course, it was a choice, but I didn't admit to that at the time, going through that process, being in that consciousness and coming back and grounding into my peace, what I've come to see is that now I can fully feel every single emotion, fully feel every possible emotion, but simultaneously attached to none of it. Not be attached to any of it. This is going to help you manifest more money. This is going to help you to manifest the relationships that you want. This is going to help you to be a better person. This is going to help you in every single area of your life, and it's going to increase your connection to who you truly are, and you could say your source. So this is going to help you in literally every single avenue of your life, every degree of your life. This will be supportive in that. Okay, and with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me in one-on-one personally, I recently just launched email coaching, as well as I have a couple spots left for my one-on-one coaching program. I don't accept every single application. Some people are not qualified. So if you do want to see if you're qualified and see if there are any spots available to work with me, be sure to include as much detail as possible in the application, which all the details for that, once again, will be down below. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next